Hi everyone, Rick Bray with the Plick team from Broomtown Gabosies, and in a previous video we looked at some introductory controls in Zoom meetings. In this video we're going to look at some slightly more advanced controls. Now again, I am using the Zoom software that's been installed on my Mac. Might look a little bit different on a Windows machine, but I really recommend using one of those two options if it's available to you, because I think you get a little bit more features, especially what we're going to look at here in this video, on the Mac and Windows version than you do on your Chromebook. So again, your mileage may vary, but let's take a look. The first thing I want to show is the share screen button. I love this tool, especially on this software. When I click share screen, you see I get a couple different options. Let me explain what each of these does a little bit separately. I can see I have desktop, whiteboard, iPhone, iPad with AirPlay, iPhone, iPad with cable. I don't know if this works with Android, but I'd love to find out. And then I have Google Chrome and Google Chrome. Okay, if you have ever done screen sharing before, you may be familiar with the difference between share tab and share desktop. That's what this screen is all about. If I select to share this window, boom, there it is. And I can see up here, I have some controls that are up here still, and it's saying it's sharing, but it's just sharing this window. If I were to, on my computer, minimize that and minimize this one, it says up here, the screen sharing is paused because there, now it's back. Everyone can see it. So they can only see this window. If I go somewhere else, they would not necessarily see that. However, if I say, oh, I didn't even know I could do that. That was kind of cool. If I were to say share desktop, now they're seeing everything that's happening on my desktop, but notice they don't necessarily see me in a camera here. I am on the feed, and you'll see that if you play around with it. But if I go to a new tab, they'll still see that. If I open up a new software thing, like if I open up Teams, they'll see that anything that's happening on my desktop will be visible there. Another tool that is really cool is this whiteboard. It brings up a whiteboard, and it is a communal space. Everyone can participate. So I can put text, I can draw on here, I can put some stamps like got it. And then I can move it, right? I can grab this stuff and I can drag it and move it. And what's awesome is if I say stop sharing, and if I come back, and then if I go back to the whiteboard, it's still there. So that means I could potentially set this whiteboard up before my students come into the room. I could get everything here, and if I want them to circle stuff or if I want them to move stuff, I can do that all on this whiteboard space, because again, I don't have to do anything. Just by putting it up there, they have control over that space as well, which is something to be mindful of. The last one that I'm going to show, and I'm going to have to pause the video for a second, and you're going to see that my little person here disappears. But hang on 1 second. All right, so here's the awesome part with using your iPhone with AirPlay. Now, this may require a plugin, and you may need, hopefully it's going to work for you, but here's what I can do. When I hit share, it's going to bring up some directions on my screen. All I need to do is take my phone, connect it to the same Wi-Fi my computer's on, and you can see here I'm doing that now on my phone. I'll just swipe down, I'll say screen mirroring, and it tells me to choose Zoom, blah, 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 and I find that on my list, and I tap on it. And just like that, there's my phone. I'm able to share my phone with the people on my call. But really what this means is if I don't have a document camera available, I can bring up my camera and set this on a coffee cup, right? Just like do this sort of a thing, set it on the coffee cup, and now I have an impromptu document camera. So if I don't have one available, now I do. That's amazing. I'm doing it with my phone. The future is now. That's like me Inception. There's lots of me's right there, which is exactly what the world needs. Lots and lots of me's. But that is how you can share with your iPhone through AirPlay or an iPad. Now, again, the cable is there. I just have never been able to make that work on my machine. I'm sure it's something I'm doing wrong. Another control down at the bottom right about there is polling. You do have to build the polls ahead of time. You can't just add a poll on the fly. It'll launch the website and you can go from there. It looks like it's multiple choice, and you have maybe 10 options that you can load in. Recording is the next thing I want to bring up. Now, again, on my device, your results may vary. I can record to this computer or I can record to the cloud. I love the cloud because it's already there. It's easier for my students and quicker for my students to access because I just give them a link and it goes right over to the cloud website. Maybe if I can, I'm going to put like a little insert up here that shows that process happening. But that is awesome. I love the cloud recording. I think it's super, super smooth. All right, so I'm jumping in here to say, as awesome as the cloud recording is, I definitely recommend checking with your district to see if they are okay with recordings being housed on the cloud. When it comes to student data privacy, they may or may not want you to go that route. So before you select which way you want to go, cloud or local device, definitely check in with your district. All right, let's get back to the show. But there you go. There's also, you'll notice, closed captions and breakout rooms. We're going to do a video a little bit later on breakout rooms to show you what those are all about. But those are the slightly more advanced controls inside of Zoom. So of course, if you have any questions on these right here or anything else instructional technology related, please feel free to drop me a line at rbray@btboses.org. If you found this video useful, give it a thumbs up, and you're always welcome to subscribe to this channel to get updates when new content is posted. As always, thank you very much for watching. Keep up the great work, everybody.